So I'm sitting there, barbecue sauce on my titties. And, oh, oh shit. Oh, they're here.
They're here?
Places.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
places.
Hello, everyone, and happy holidays. I hope everyone had
Hello.
a wonderful Christmas.
Yes.
Except
Oh
for you,
my
Chad.
goodness.
Fuck you,
Yeah, you
Chad.
fucking suck. Same thing with you, Denise.
Denise? Yeah,
Denise.
fuck you, Denise.
Yeah, you're not very nice at all. All right, may or may not have way too much hot chocolate, spiked with some coffee.
You know, isn't that just a mocha?
Oh, I mean, kinda, really. Okay,
I mean,
okay,
isn't it literally just a mocha?
Okay, it depends. It depends. So I try this little thing out. You know those Oreo brand hot chocolate mix?
I'll lie and say yes.
Okay, that's fine. Just say yeah. Just read the script, damn it.
Yes.
Yeah, you're supposed to say yes. Anyways, for those who do know, I've actually tried. So I got so one day I got this Dunkin' Donuts coffee cup, right? So, we could totally be sponsored, by the way. Cough. And they didn't make it right. They usually do, but I mean, it was a late night and so on and so forth and all that. And so I was like, you know what? Just out of curiosity, I put 2 or 3 spoonfuls of the Oreo brand hot chocolate mix and some cinnamon sugar, and oh my lord.
Oh, that sounds so good.
It was so freaking good. Oh my god. And it was amazing.
So what I'm actually drinking, I went to Dutch Bros. Sponsor us, Dutch Bros, please. I love you.
Cough. Or
I love you.
Anyway, please, just someone sponsor us.
Zaddy.
Oh my god. We need to feed violence.
But this is a Christmas morning chai with strawberry flavored soft top and peppermint candy sprinkles on top.
Ooh, I'm not a huge chai person, but that actually sounds
I
pretty
am
good.
not either. I loathe chai more than anything, and this just tastes like a heavenly, you know?
Yeah, okay. I might need to try that next time I go to Dutch Bros. Sponsor us.
Sponsor us.
Please.
So
I need to try that out. That sounds pretty good.
I guess on a quick disclaimer, I am still heavily sick. I was sick before Christmas. I am sick now. So if you hear me laugh, it sounds like a chain smoker wheeze. And I am sorry. I'm sorry. I don't feel good, okay? I mean, I feel a lot better, but man, my voice is not ready for the podcast.
No, I feel that. I probably sound nasally too, and you're probably gonna hear me sniffing too.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Sniffing ASMR. The funny part is I'm actually eating a jalapeno right now, and that helps clear out the nostrils.
Oh, I had Chinese. Well, it was actually Korean, but I had Korean chili oil yesterday. I said Chinese first because I actually typically get the Chinese brand, but this time I went with the Korean brand, and it is so delicious. It has peanuts in it this time, and I've never had one with peanuts.
Oh, you like
pretty good.
Sauce. It's like a peanut sauce, right?
It is, but it's kind of, but it's like chili oil. I don't know.
Huh.
But anyway, today...
I gotta try that out next time.
No, honestly, it's so good. And if ever you're over, I mean, that bottle is going to last me a few months. So by all means, take whatever you want out of it.
I'll bring a bagel.
But today, we actually have a very, very different type of video for you. We are not doing a book review. Right? How dare us? We're technically not doing a book review for you. We are breaking down the best books that we have reviewed on our channel here in 2024. Now, with that being said, I know you're going to ask, but Elvish, Aqua, there are so many good books. There are. However, we are only rating the books that we unanimously gave 5 stars to. And there are only 5 outside of Sarah J. Maas.
Yes. because we feel like it might be just a tad bit unfair, given that Akatar is pretty much a huge fan favorite of both of us.
Absolutely.
And kind of, it's actually gotten me into reading a lot more. That and another book series that we will be reading here soon, or reviewing here soon.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
can't wait. It has dragons.
Yeah, they have dragons.
They have the wagons. Yay, the wagons. But anyway, so we are exploring the Akatar series.
Right.
I don't get me wrong.
Exactly.
Chef kiss. Chef kiss.
Yes.
Yes.
And I agree. I don't really feel like it's fair to put all of the Akatar books alongside every other book. Just because, like we said, Akatar is, one of our absolute fan favorites. I actually recently just had my nails done to match each individual book.
Oh yeah.
And it's basically our entire personality trait now. So
pretty much.
Yes, we're excluding those.
Just to make it fair for everyone else. Plus, there actually are some really good books out there that if they were similar, that they're not the same genre, I would say. So it's kind of hard to compare them,
Right. I do think, however, looking at our lineup for 2025, so this video here is probably going to be really short. However, we're going to try and do this video again at the end of 2025, and I swear it's going to be like a 10-hour, just video. So, prepare to just sit there for, an entire day, because we're going to argue about so many books. It's going to be insane.
It's almost a guarantee, pretty much.
But today, our books are, and of course, I will do the honors of putting pictures up for you guys and all that, but we are discussing which book out of the following is, in our opinion, the best book of 2024. That does not mean these books were necessarily released in 2024, just what we reviewed in 2024. Okay.
Yeah, it's based on what we read and all that.
So we have, I did so bad. Oh, wait. I just need one. Look, I'm so bad at my job.
What'd you do now?
I don't remember this bitch's name. Just kidding. We love you.
Which one? I need to pull it up. I can pull it up.
I'm trying to, but my computer...
Hold on, folks. Technical difficulties. That's when you add this when you add the little yeah.
I was trying to laugh, but I couldn't stop coughing. But I was coughing because I was laughing.
Task
oh fuck, man. Okay, so we have How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn, Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. Actually, 2 from this author, but we have The Pumpkin Spice Cafe and The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore by Lori Gilmore, and My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. Listen.
I was literally about to finish typing, and I probably heard my clicking on my keyboard. It has switches.
Also,
love the switches.
I always say, if the authors ever watch this, no hard feelings. I promise. We just read so many books that I can never remember them. I'm so sorry. The only reason I could remember the others is because we literally just finished them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna be real with you. We have no idea how to do this. We have no set
no idea either.
Curriculum or exactly. So we're just
the only script I had was to talk about books. That's literally what my script
pretty
says.
much. I just knew that I had to show up. I mean, that's about it. Okay.
Oh, and take a bite of this jalapeno. Hold on real quick.
Let me take a bite of this. I try. Hold on.
I have no idea if you can hear that over the microphone, but it was wet as a seed. Woo, it's good.
Oh
yeah.
Okay.
Not to mention it, like when I took a bite into
Fuck.
it, have you ever had it like whenever you bit into like a jalapeno? I'm gonna say jalapeno because I'll probably like trigger some people, and we'll take the comments. And when you take a bite of a jalapeno and it's all like wet inside and
Mm,
juicy, it just spills inside in your mouth.
I love that.
Yeah,
I like the
that's right.
jalapenos that you get in the jar, and it has like the onions and the carrots in it with it.
That's exactly what I'm eating right now.
The
It's
carrots are
that
my favorite.
my mom loves the carrots too. I'm okay. I'm partial to the carrots. I love the jalapenos.
Oh yeah, I always eat them with my spaghetti.
Ooh, nice.
Well, so actually, if we're technically looking at it,
Mhm.
every book that we have on today's, I guess, lineup is
Yeah,
a romance.
pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty much. We do have some comedy in there. We have some smuttiness in there.
Mhm.
I guess let's go ahead and I even have a trusty old pen and everything. Let's go ahead and just like start breaking them down. As far as the romance goes, and I'm talking about like no smut, no spice, just as far as the romance goes, what do you think was the best relationship out of all of these books?
Ooh, that's kind of hard to pick. Kind of. I do have two that I think I'm very partial for, and it is for me. It's going to be my roommate's a vampire
Mm.
and how my neighbor stole Christmas. I want to say
Okay.
because one, vampire daddy. Not to
Right.
mention the fact that he is literally old fashioned, given that he's very old. And I can't get over the fact of clutching my pearls. I meant
Yes.
more of that. That might be more of the comedy part. But I like it though. It's old. It's the old world being put into the new world, and not only being shown, and it's very prominent in their relationship. And well, the fact like halfway, midway through, the truth comes spilling out. And I don't know, the way how things were handled seemed very healthy, given the gravity of the situation, if that makes sense. Like, you just find out this hot guy, to this hot significant other, is a vampire.
Yeah.
And they're just a little marshmallow who just wants to get by, and and thinks you're kind of cute, doing the woo woo fingers right now that I'm totally doing, that everyone can definitely see,
Well, of
you
course.
know. And I thought that was just pretty heckin' adorable, and I thought the dynamic was pretty cool. You have somebody who is literally from 100 to 100 years old, has no idea how the new world is, or the current world is, and you have someone who's very patient and has fun showing them. So, and I think I like that. And then
And my neighbor?
for my neighbor, it's kind of funny because at first there was already a bit of a spark because when they were kids, but then it's just circumstances and just things left unsaid kind of ruin things. And when they come back, it pretty much turns enemies to lovers. But they were still kind of lovers deep down, but it was very much enemies. Then they were kind of forced into being lovers, and then eventually, they clear things up, and they're like, well, shit. It was just all a huge misunderstanding. Now we're kind of in a predicament that we have to pretend to be lovers, but at the same time pretend to hate each other, but secretly be lovers.
Yep.
And then eventually just be like, well, fuck it, we're just gonna be lovers and just roll with it. And and it came out really good. Not to mention they helped out with each other's trauma, and it's a very satisfying resolution that not only did they manage to get over their stuff together, and kind of because of each other too, both part of the cause and also the solution at the same time, and having a really strong relationship at the end. To me, both of those seemed like very good dynamics, to where they become each other's solution on both accounts. And on some of the other ones too, I think a close third one would probably Pumpkin Spice Cafe. was because I think that was really cute. You know, that series was really cute on both of those. They were really good relationship dynamics. But I think the two I enjoyed the most was from My Neighbor Stole Christmas and My Roommate's a Vampire.
No, and I agree completely. I actually agree with the My Neighbor is a or How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. I
Mm-hmm.
do really agree with that. I really do like the whole enemies to lovers type aspect and the
Yeah.
grumpy sunshine. I really, really feel like his type of grumpiness just it wasn't a turnoff, if that makes sense, personality wise. And we knew,
Yeah.
like, deep down that he was such a wonderful human being in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And she, even though she pressed every one of his buttons, he did everything that he could to, be the best person that he could be for her, even when they were technically arguing and pretending to be lovers.
Oh,
Um,
good point. That is a very good point too. Yes,
yeah,
I did
he
like that also.
Right. He always treated her with the utmost respect. He always did absolutely everything he could to help her. It wasn't until he thought that she sabotaged him at the end that he kind of got a little nasty. But I feel like anyone in their right mind would have also done that. So that's no fault to him.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really liked that duo, like the dynamics between them, even before they fell in love. It
Yeah,
really spoke volumes. And we know that he was practically the Grinch. I think he was written very well. I think
I
she was
agree.
written well. That book was definitely it. Um, my second one though is actually the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. I absolutely
Mm.
really loved Noah and Hazel. Hazel being the small town, lonely, dedicated to work girl. While Noah is more of the man-ho-ish type that gets around, that wants nothing but fun, no commitment, hit it and
Free
quit it
spirit.
type guy. Right. But the way that he was around her was just such night and day differences. He was the absolute sweetheart to her, always did everything he could to put her first, even before, like, even in Pumpkin Spice Cafe, he was always there.
Kind of like, yeah, there, and even in the background, his, once, and now that you mentioned that, and looking back to it, I kind of start to realize that in the background, he even, like you were saying, he had that mentality either way.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Because even with Pumpkin
and
Spice Cafe, this was before we even discover that they're actually fully interested in one another. He had
yeah,
his eyes on her. He knew that he was going to get her either way. It was just
hmm
whatever he had to do to get her, and he did it, and they ended up together. And I really, really, really love that dynamic a lot. Like, it worked so perfectly because she doesn't really express herself. He expresses himself a little bit too much. He was able to get her out of her shell. It was just
hmm
absolutely magical. I really enjoyed that book a lot.
and I think too, to kind of add on to it, because that was also one of my favorite pairings too. Like, for me, like roommate, vampire roommate, and neighbor Christmas, like right under those two of my favorites would be the pumpkin spice um and cinnamon bun bookstore. Like those two are like right under my favorites. And so, and I think also with Heather was able to. I feel like Heather grounded him,
Hazel?
like something that or did I say Hess? I said Heather.
You did. But
Hazel.
then I was also thinking, like, did I miss a character?
No. That was just me. That was just me being brain dead. Uh, but no, Hazel. I felt like give Noah the grounding that he has been wanting. Like he loves the
Absolutely.
free spirit, but given like how he wanted a place to really be at, given like his family stuff too, Hazel gave him that too.
Oh, absolutely.
To me, that's what I see, and Noah really something that he really wants. He wants the free. He's still a free spirit, but he wanted somewhere to roost. He wanted somewhere to call his home, And
I mean, that was
and
ultimately it. He
Hazel,
wanted a home.
yeah, exactly. And Hazel not only helped him with that, but was that for him even in his heart. Oh.
Well, I'm going to do my best with the editing. So,
Mm-hmm.
in the perfect world, y'all should be seeing the book covers overhead with a count next to them. And in my opinion, the book with the highest count at the end is the winner. That's how I think about it.
Ooh.
So it looks like we have someone in first place right now. So,
Yeah.
now, you know, each of these books have their own respective like comedy dynamics, and I kind of want to deep dive into that too because I know you kind of dipped your toes in a little bit. As far as comedy goes, now not all of these are comedy books. There is one in particular, I think, that specifically is not comedy, but it still has some aspect to it, so we'll go from there. What
Mm-hmm.
which book do you think resonated the most with you comedy wise?
Ooh, that's hard. So going again with the two books with My Roommate's a Vampire, the whole again kind of like they're reiterating everything that I said again with the old and new. Having a vampire for 200 years trying to figure out social media was the funniest shit ever, and the imagination of it is just hilarious. And I still can't get over clutching my pearls. You know, he scoffed and things like that. It made it sound like he was an old lady, and I
Oh,
could almost picture
absolutely.
him with a powdered wig, the white, the full white paints, and the overly bright like cheek blush,
You
and
know
be
what I
like,
just thought of?
"You
I'm so sorry.
scoundrel!" Um,
You know what I just thought of? Could you
what's
imagine
that?
if they did Halloween together and she was the wolf and or like if she was the Red Riding Hood and he was the wolf dressed as grandma clutching his pearls?
Oh my god. Alright, it looks
All
like
right, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be having that image in my mind from now on. That
If
is
there
so
are any
amazing.
like artists out there that can draw that, please do that for
Please.
us.
That'd be great.
I'm so sorry.
But
You may continue.
I mean that was pretty much it. It's just that, and the fact that his vampire power, his other power, is literally summoning kumquats and pineapples when he's nervous. He just farts out the existence of fruits, tropical fruits. It is the dumbest yet best vampire power I've ever heard in my life. Screw you, Twilight.
Yeah,
Who
fuck
needs
you, Edward.
Edward? Who needs Edward when we got my man's here from My Roommate's a Vampire? He can summon kumquats. Okay, he can fight against scurvy. What can he do? What can Edward do? Nothing. Just glitter. Useless. Anyways, that was my rant. That was my rant. But my other one that I love so much, and it's because it caters so much to my humor, how I like things. I love fourth wall breaking, and my how my neighbor stole Christmas. If I have to go based on laughs alone, I would probably have to go. It hurts to say it, at the same time it doesn't. I think I have to go with my how my neighbor stole Christmas. But if I could put points, I'd put points on both. But out of sheer laughs, like actual LOLing at work and having people stare at me because I'm just laughing randomly, um, would it be my neighbor? Because the whole interaction between the narrator, because the way how the book is read is basically like a Christmas storybook, like how the with the narrator and everything, and it would help that they had a full cast on the audiobook, which made it even better. And just the back and forth and the break and the fourth wall breaking had me laughing every time. There is not a single time I did not laugh because the the main character, the male OC, or MC, I mean, they always went at each other's throats, the
Yep.
narrator and him, and it just kept making me laugh because the fact that he stuck true to it, and I can't get over the fact that a guy wore a thong because the narrator
Yes.
said, and he wore a thong, and then and everyone else just went with it as if it's like what you call it, the improv skit, a scripted improv skit, and it's just
Yes.
oh my god, I could not stop laughing. I stayed in the closet laughing my ass off when I was at work because I was restocking at work, and I just stayed in a closet laughing my ass off. But the fact
Oh,
that
yeah.
he bent down and it showed off the thong, and it was just oh my god. So I have to go. I'm actually smiling right now because I'm remembering. It's weird. You can take this out of context or make this into a TikTok, but I'm smiling at the fact that a narrator put a guy wearing a thong, and so yeah, I have to give that point to How My Neighbor Stole Christmas.
Ooh. Okay. You're actually
To
giving
be
the
honest,
point. Okay, that was gonna
yeah.
be my question at the very end. Okay.
To be honest, I want to give it to both, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to pick one. So if I
We
pick both,
are.
it'd be the same two books I already chose. But if I had to pick one, it'll be Christmas.
Perfect.
Xmas. Yeah.
So I am the exact same, except I am reversed.
Ooh.
The one that comes to mind immediately is How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. I mean, I can't. It's just, as I mentioned earlier, the dynamic duo between the two main characters and then from Cole and the narrator. I have never like verbally laughed out loud more than I did in this book. And this book not only like gave me the Christmas cheer that I've been missing this season, but it like healed a part of me on the inside. And I don't know if that makes sense, but
oh no, it makes sense. It basically what you're saying is a Christmas miracle.
it was, but I also love the Grinch, and to see the Grinch basically played out in someone else's eyes, basically, it was such a magical experience. Now,
Yes.
I do also really like My Roommate is a Vampire. I loved the dry, comedic tone.
I've never
I
seen
loved it.
dry humor done so good.
Exactly, and that is my point. Typically, dry humor is kind of a fail, but I think for the book and the characters as a whole, I truly do think the humor was done perfectly. I love everything about this book. I love everything about him. However, and now if you are looking at them in their own light, they are both equally perfect in every way, shape, or form. However,
I agree.
if you're looking at them in this competition, my vote goes for How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. Easy.
Oh, yeah.
Easy. But now
I'm just going based off laws, but both
exactly
did their type of humor for each book was perfect. And like I said, and I mean this wholeheartedly, I rarely ever see dry humor done so well.
Exactly.
And it's just My Roommate's a Vampire. It's just so freaking good, man.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, I can't wait for that. I can't wait for the next book. Can't wait.
And so now we actually do have to circle back on romance. I need you, and I will do the same, but I need you to pick your favorite out of
No.
the two.
You're probably gonna hate me because I might have to go with My Roommate's a Vampire.
My Roommate? Is that your final answer?
It's hard because I love both so much. I love the frenemies, or the enemies to lovers. I want to say frenemies because they're still pretty friendly towards each other in their own very special way, I think. But at the same time, I really love the dynamic between the two, because you have old school meets new school, and
Right.
I love that. It's and You know what? I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it. My roommate's a vampire. I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
Yep.
For me, I am just as torn. I am very equally torn between it. However, oh, okay. So this is hard because once again, both books, if you're looking at them separately, both books are perfect in their own way. And I love both stories. I love all the characters. I love the relationship a little bit more in Cinnamon Bun. But I love the story more in My Neighbor. So
I see what you're saying. But given the romance,
but given
the
just the romance and just the relationship, leaving all the story behind, I'm gonna have to give it to I'm gonna have to give it to Cinnamon Bun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to give it to him.
Cinnamon Bun is really good. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, their dynamic between the two is very, very good. Very good. And very relatable too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
yeah.
Third, we're almost there. Third is the spice factor. What book did the best spice, but I'm adding a twist that didn't copy and paste like every other book?
Ooh. Okay. That's gonna be hard because there's 3 books that come to mind. I think you'll be surprised.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Hear me out. So, Icebreaker.
Okay.
The bathroom scene. I think we both kind of agree on the bathroom scene there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna just be real. Icebreaker is on my list too, so I will easily say Icebreaker as well.
And only because in technicality, this is actually very different. The way how things were set up. Not to mention, if you count in the spice and the lead up, and that only because I'm counting the lead up, because in a way, depending how you look at it, in the technical term, it can be a bit of.
Are you doing my roommate?
Yeah. God damn it. Yes. And the reason why, I have a bit of a reasoning for it, but my roommate, because in order for him to technically arrive, he needed blood. So bloodletting was required for him to do it because it was needed for his species.
Right.
Not to mention, given that he's old-fashioned, hissing and touching was considered very sensual and spicy in his time era. So you have the duality of new school and old school come up again. And then my next one is How My Neighbor Stole Christmas Because of the Candy Cane.
You know, actually,
this is different. It's very different.
So, okay, my list was Icebreaker. My list was between Icebreaker and My Neighbor. Obviously, you know, the bathroom scene. You know, we both unanimously agreed that the bathroom scene was just phenomenal. I also personally really liked the Uber scene. In
oh yeah, an Icebreaker.
Right. I liked the Uber scene a lot. However,
it does
sorry,
have a
I'm dying.
Thrill in that scene. Oh, you're good.
It does.
I do agree with the Uber scene. It has a thrill factor to it, and you know what? I can see that. Yeah.
And but like going in, My Neighbor, you know, we have the candy cane scene, which okay, I'm not gonna lie though, the candy cane scene kind of grossed me out a little bit. There was one part about it in particular that kind of grossed me out, which I think it's because, okay, I can't say too much because of YouTube and we'll get, you know.
Yeah, we'll get early retirement thanks to YouTube.
I thought too hard on it. And when
that's usually my job to overthink things. Why are you trying to take my job for?
Right.
Come on now. I get paid for this.
But when they picked up the mashed potato gravy and ate it, you know, I thought too hard on it, and I was just thinking that it wasn't fresh out of the oven, more so like ice
Oh,
cold. And then now if you're
oh
thinking,
no.
right, so if you're thinking about gravy cold, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really go well with mashed potatoes, you know? And
Yeah,
it's just something
I
that,
see what you're saying.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So when that happened, it was like I actually like got grossed out by it just because I didn't think in the time between like how I read it, it seemed like
Mm-hmm.
time had gone by to allow it to cool down. That kind of turned
Gotcha.
me off personally. So because of that one aspect, I know that's weird to think about it, but whenever you're reading spicy books, I'm sorry, everyone kind of relates to their personal life, and I was just thinking of that, and I was like, So for me personally, I'm giving my vote to Icebreaker.
That's understandable. I guess because technically I gave 3 options, but my vote would be I'm gonna give it to Vampire.
Okay.
It's very different, and I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect it. I did not at all. Because think about it, it was a requirement for him.
Right.
Other than that, Homeboy would have just kept going, but he would never arrive. He would never reach his destination. He would be in constant and forever departure. But he needed it, and it gives a little something else because what if he never got it? How long could he go?
Right, actually.
You know what I mean? If I guess I kind of I start to think about it more and more, and analyzing it like, okay, what about this? What about that? And then I thought of something really gross, and I didn't want to go in there. So that's where I was like, all right, I need to stop thinking it because of I don't know if we need to cut this out. So you know what? No, I'm not gonna say it. I'll wait till after the video to mention it because this will not be a good place to say on YouTube.
Oh,
Ooh.
well, just
But yeah,
gonna
my vote will
skip
be
right past that.
yeah, we're gonna skip right past that to save everyone's thoughts. So yeah, my vote would be my roommate's a vampire.
And, you know, I would think the final, of course, like I said, next year in 2025, we'll probably have a better outlay for this, but,
Maybe better formula. Who knows?
right. But I would like to go over, in our opinion, who has the best story.
Ooh, oh, that's gonna be even tougher. Oh man. Okay, I think I have my choices already. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so kind of going down the line, you know, my neighbor, you have the Grinch, which is a very loved holiday fan favorite. Icebreaker is the kind of forbidden love college jock. Pumpkin Spice and Cinnamon Bun is like small town. And then my roommate is oldie with a newie. And, you know, they each have their own individual key, like, points that make them each individual.
Their own little recipe, pretty
Right.
much. Their own little like type, I guess
Right.
I'd say.
So I'm just gonna go based off of 2 things. Now this is gonna be really difficult. I want to go off of uniqueness. First of all, uniqueness
Okay.
is going to be my roommate is a vampire. You don't really get this type of vampire story. It's typically the same. I drink blood. I scare you. Blah blah blah. You know. This is the
And don't
first.
forget, I'm emo and brooding and
Yeah. Stabby. Stab.
Sparkle.
Stab.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily get this type of vampire story where the vampire is a cinnamon roll that literally just wants to fit in and just wants to find his true love. And I really love how down to earth he is. I already said it in the review. If you haven't watched it, please go watch it. But
Mhm.
there are a lot of people trashing this book because of how bland it is. But
That is where the magic is,
exactly,
people. Oh my god.
because you have to realize in this book, this is a few 100-year-old man. He doesn't have the same humor we have nowadays. Um,
No.
so
He's literally from a different era.
no, absolutely.
It is the question of what would happen if you brought somebody in from 300 years ago. That's pretty much how they act.
I mean, he's
They're not gonna
basically
know
caveman.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
He
basically from caveman times.
yeah, he ooga booga'd while we say yeet, you know? It's different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, also thinking about it then too, like putting that into perspective, we're used to going to like beaches and seeing men with their shirts off, wearing shorts, and then women wearing two-piece bikinis. In his time, they didn't even see ankles. If they saw ankles, that was provocative.
That was
So
scandalous.
you have to keep that in mind because it is a very different time. So this book is very slow and very dry, but that is the point. Like, it does so well. Now, on the other side, I have How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. I absolutely love this book. I love the Jim Carrey version of The Grinch more than anything.
The best version of of the Grinch. Yes, in my opinion too.
So with that being said, I am judging this book based off of the movie specifically. The movie is one of my all-time favorites. This book easily goes hand in hand with the book. This book goes hand in hand with the movie. I absolutely can see where they are in, like, while reading the book, I can see where the movie is and vice versa, if that makes any sense. So, story-wise, it was basically a magical movie going off in my head. So I would have to say My Neighbor.
Really?
But if we are doing overall rating,
drum roll.
I can't. Okay. I'm gonna go with my gut.
If you have to choose one,
I'm going with my gut. I'm doing that thing.
Which one?
I'm doing that thing where, like, my heart and my gut is saying the same answer, but my mind is saying something else. So I'm gonna go with my heart and I'm gonna go with my gut, and both of them are gonna give it to How My Neighbor Stole Christmas.
Ooh.
I'm doing it. My mind wants me to go with My Roommate is a Vampire. My mind really wants me to do it, but my heart, my soul, my every fiber of my being wants me to go with My Neighbor. So My Neighbor it is.
Good choice. It's a very good choice. I think you're ready for mine.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Pretty much the points that you said about My Roommate's a Vampire, and pretty much for How My Neighbor Stole Christmas, because I feel the exact same way. When I was listening to My Neighbor, it was very much like a movie, but I saw it more like every time when the narrator came in, it was all like someone's reading a storybook, and then it pans into the page where there's like a still, and then it goes back into the movie as like a TV show. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I loved it, and I loved it so much. The story was good. It was a really good telling, a really good Christmas story. And not to mention, that is one of my favorite holidays too. I love Christmas. I love everything about it. Actually, my birthday's near, and and it was so good, and it made me laugh so much. And then with How My Roommate's a Vampire, like, again, people hate it because of its blandness. That was the point. At least that's how I see it. It was the point, and it was done so well. Like I mentioned before, and I have never seen dry humor done so perfectly, done so well. And it is by far, I think, one of the best representations of dry humor. And the story was good too. The vampire, he just had something bad happen. He got put to sleep. and the homeboy woke up. A lot of time has passed and the world has changed. And he's just trying to find a way to survive because he knew how to survive during his era. Now he needs to survive in a whole brand new era that he was literally just woken up into, and with only one friend. And
Yeah.
he was the reason why he was put into that predicament in the first place. But but then he finds somebody to connect with, and is also a branch of pretty much the new world, and his new romance too as well, and of finding love, so much time later. And so for me, that was a really good story because it's not crazy. The vampire trope was completely changed.
Yes, it was.
Every vampire is unique. No one has the same power. And some of them are kind of just lame, but in an awesome way. The guy makes kumquats and pineapples when he gets nervous, and homeboy kept making them because he was ooh-wooing and nervous around a girl that he liked. And I thought it was the cutest. Even broke my voice right there. Even my voice cracked. And
he kept like gifting him. Right, he kept gifting him to her too, which was fantastic.
Or donate them to the food donation places, because he said he did that too with some of the fruit, because he made so many. You didn't know what to do with all the fruit he kept making. And it's just like it changed the whole stereotype. And not only it gave the answer to the question, what happened if you bring someone from the past into the future? Check that part out. Vampire. Yeah, not all of them are a bunch of jerks, like evil, brooding, dark. Oh, Bella. They're not all like that. This guy's like, my word, I have never seen such a thing. So what a travesty.
Yes.
This is the debauchery. He was very much true to himself, but not because he's a vampire, just because he's just from that time. Homeboy was just being himself. Homeboy was just being homeboy, but with the conditions of being a vampire. The status effect, the debuff, vampirism. And it was just great. So if I had to choose, and it's difficult because I love both of these books, but I'm choosing My Roommate's a Vampire. It changed every stereotype in the best way possible, and it made dry humor the hero of this fucking book. I still can't get over clutching my pearls. It makes me smile every time. You can hear it in my voice. And so, but yeah, so My Roommate's a Vampire.
Well, this is where crunch time comes in, and this is where the impossible conversation comes up.
Oh no.
We have a dead tie.
So what's the tally overall score? Let's hear the scores real quick.
My Roommate is a Vampire is at 3. My Neighbor, or How My Neighbor Stole Christmas, is also at a 3. Icebreaker is at 1. Pumpkin Spice Cafe is at 0. And lastly, Cinnamon Bun Bookstore is at 1.
They're all great books. Do not get us wrong, folks.
Fantastic books. That's why they're in this video.
Because these books, and just a reminder, these are the books that we gave unanimously 5 stars for what they are individually.
Now, don't get us wrong. We also had 5-star reads ourselves, but not unanimous.
That is true. Yes. But
me personally, I know what was. Let me look it up. Me personally, I really enjoyed. I actually really enjoyed Credence, but I didn't give it a 5-star. I gave it a 4.5, I believe.
I enjoyed Credence too. After getting past a few things, I did like the story.
But these were the only books on our account so far that have received 5 stars from both of us.
Yeah. But so these are from joint 5 stars.
Correct. So.
Now the hard part.
What's the best book of 2024? we are
Ah,
between My Roommate is a Vampire and
yeah,
How My Neighbor Stole Christmas.
that is so hard.
So for me personally, I this is the toughest decision ever.
I know.
But part of me wants to go with originality.
Mhm.
You know, How My Neighbor Stole Christmas is basically how the Grinch stole Christmas, you know.
Right.
He is the Grinch. We have the grumpy sunshine, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We do have kind of the originality of like what kind of it okay. It is original, but it is not original of the narrator talking and breaking the fourth wall and all that. I
Yeah,
do really,
fair enough.
really like that.
Mm-hmm.
However, I can fully respect everything you just said about how they changed the vampire trope and fully made it original and made it their own thing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't look at it from that perspective, and I can fully respect that. So, if
Yeah.
I'm going off of originality specifically,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like My Roommate might take it.
I'm actually kind of surprised, and I'm gonna be honest. I love both books. Both of these books, honestly, if I could, I would choose both.
Oh, of
Because one,
course.
I love the formula, but you are correct. If we're supposed to go with uniqueness, How My Neighbor Stole Christmas is very much a retelling of the Grinch, and probably one in the best way,
Absolutely
uh,
the best way.
in the best way possible. It is amazing. I love the narration. The writing was sublime, and everything, and it is like Jim Carrey levels of fun. It was such a fun listen. And but if I were to go with the most, like, I would say, like, rule breaking, because don't get me wrong, How My Neighbor Stole Christmas definitely broke some rules because the Grinch find love, in a different way, and a new appreciation for candy canes. But I digress.
I'm
But
dead.
if it were me, I'd have to give it to My Roommate's a Vampire. I love the supernatural stuff, and like I said, the vampire trope is very much all the same. It's always, very cookie cutter. It's very
It
dark all
is.
the time, and this is like super lighthearted, but not in a cringy way. And again, the dry humor, it was done so well, and it's so rare to see that, or at least it's rare for me. It's very hard, and
I
I
agree.
this book has always made me smile every single time. And it's just, yeah.
It was
If I had to
actually
give it, it'd be My Roommate's a Vampire.
and it was actually such a very quick read. I mean,
It was,
um,
yeah.
if you're new here, typically I used to be the one that only read books and Aqua here would only do audiobooks, but due to my new job, I can only really listen to audiobooks at work, so I now do audiobooks as well. Um, I typically can read an entire audiobook or listen to an entire audiobook within 2 to 3 hours, no problem. But this book, specifically My Roommate is a Vampire, was such an easy listen. I felt like I barely turned it on and it was already finished. And
Yeah,
it's not very common to find a book that goes that smooth and that glides over your brain and your ear holes as well as this book did. So
I agree.
I think
We have our
we have
winner.
our winner.
Oh, we have a winner. That's a quote from the Nintendo 64 Spider-Man when he finds a comic book. Oh, we have a winner.
Oh my god, yes. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Those who know how fucking old I am.
Sorry, I was like muted because I was like coughing up a lung. Like half of my lung is like just dangling on the floor. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, put it in a baggie, put some ice in it, and sell it. And you pay off your bills.
Bro, for real, like, oh my
Oh,
god,
for
I'd be
real.
rich.
Bro, that's like $24,000. Like right now. Anyways, continuing on.
But no, honestly, like, disclaimer, I mean, I know we've already said it 1,000 times, but every book in this video deserves each individual praise.
Yes, they do.
And just because a book didn't make it in this video does not make it horrible, less than, or whatever. It was just simply, it was lacking in some way or another. Even if it was almost perfect, that's the reason it was almost perfect. And these are, in our opinion, the most perfect books. However, as I did mention,
it checked all the boxes and everything.
Oh, I died. However, in 2025, this video was an hour long. I promise you the 2025 video is going to be like 2 to 3 hours long.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like,
I think
easily.
we might have to like do like mid-annual maybe or quarterly.
Oh, we might have to.
Reviews. Yeah. Just to save our sanity.
Yeah. But I truly, because you know, I already know our lineup for 2025. But y'all don't get to know that. LOL.
But we have some crazy books coming up, and honestly, it's going to be a cage fight gauntlet to the unalive.
Yeah, so, it is going to be absolutely wild. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's going to be probably a lot of honorable mentions, even if they don't get fully put in the video, but 2025 is going to be a crazy year. If you gather anything from this, please go read these books. These authors deserve so much love for what they gave. Yeah, my roommate is a vampire is absolutely an astonishing book. Like, please go read it. Do not listen or read any of the reviews until afterwards, because the reviews are nasty for no reason.
They do not do it justice
at
all.
And then that's actually what I said originally.
Or who put those comments, I highly doubt they read the whole thing.
Right.
Highly doubt it.
And what I said originally, if you know, you know. And, you know, Aqua and I, we know. So.
Oh, we know.
Oh, but yeah.
Quick, what do we know again?
Hey, just roll with it. They won't know any difference.
I know on my script it only says talk about books.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, they won't know anything.
Okay, good. Anyway.
But yeah, you know, it's been a crazy year with us. We have gained a lot of new subs, and you know, we appreciate all of you. We are doing what we can, the best that we can, and I hope that you guys are excited to see what comes from Night Court Narrative in 2025, because we are just going to grow and become bigger and better, and I am so excited to have you guys along with us.
So am I. I can't wait. I can't wait for the new books. This has been basically a brand new adventure start for me, getting into books now. And so I've really enjoying this ride. So hopefully you guys can stick with us so we can continue doing this. Feel free to share, guys. Share stuff out. Make clips of us. Make us more known. For the love of God, we got bills to pay and more books to read.
Aqua is just over there, like in the fetal position, rocking back and forth. I have a bill tomorrow.
I know. I can't be shaking on my leg. I've been shaking my leg too much. My leg's all shaked out.
But yeah,
not doing as much business this year.
Oh my heavens! Everyone's out of town for the holidays right now.
I know. I'm over here with cat ears out here.
But yeah, I truly hope that all of you have a wonderful new year. You are going to literally see us in like 3 days, so 2 to 3 days, so it's not like you're really gonna miss us too much, but yeah. Well, this was fun.
This is a great year, and here's to the next one coming up.
So what about barbecue sauce on your titties?
Okay, look, see, all right, everything's expensive, and I seriously, need to buy more books. Okay, I need to buy the next edition. I gotta buy the sequel from My Neighbor's a Vampire. All right, it doesn't come free, so unless Audible wants to cough up some credits, we're gonna, to play with some barbecue sauce here. I just hope nobody asks for hot sauce again, because that was not fun.